What I really hope is the next boulder that rolls down on a bus, the next wildfire that happens, there's not someone like me sitting in this chair.
For 2.5 hours after that fire had escaped, no one could warn the people up on this ridge that are sitting behind me here, and my wife was no longer with me.
Emotional testimony tonight. Sam Lucas and Scott Appel pushing lawmakers to pass a bill for a commission to look into the lower North Fork fire. Would also pay the victims. The bill passed tonight's House hearing 8-3, and during testimony, Scott Appel challenged lawmakers to come see his property to see the destruction. He also invited 7 News reporter Marshall Zellinger. And Marshall, for the first time, Scott Appel is sharing with you the photo his wife took of the fire, and he's talking about the one thing of hers that he still has.
Over the last 5 weeks, Scott Appel has opened up to me about his wife, Ann. We've spent hours talking in person and on the phone, and I've been to his property several times. The only reason I know Scott now is because of Ann, but until I met him, I didn't really know her.
You know, if anybody did anything that brought attention to her, she would just shy right away from that.
This is a story about a woman who would rather not have it told.
A wonderful lady.
She'd be embarrassed for what we're doing.
Absolutely. She would be so embarrassed about this whole thing and the attention that's been drawn to her that she wouldn't believe it.
22 years ago, Scott and Ann Appel married, building this home to raise their 2 boys, Evan and Austin.
You guys designed it yourself?
Ann did. When we bought the property back in 1989, we were struck with the beauty of this area down here.
Today, the mountains are the same, but the view entirely different.
Hard to imagine that this could all happen in the space of a few hours.
The Appel's residence, once filled with memories.
A beautiful place.
Now broken and charred.
Yep, that's what's left over there.
The lower North Fork fire spared a few dishes and figurines, but took the love of Scott's life.
When you talk about losing everything, we did. The only thing I have left of Ann, unfortunately, is a pair of sunglasses.
The fire that would kill Ann Appel started as a state forest prescribed burn on Thursday, March 22nd.
I was out of state, and Ann took a picture of the controlled burn.
This is that photo. 4 days later, this burn would reignite. Scott was out of state. Her boys had just left for a spring break vacation.
You know, as the day progressed, she said, well, this smoke is kind of just blowing up this way like it has before, so what should I do? And I said, well, as soon as we get off the phone, call 911 and figure out what's going on with it, you know.
This was her call.
Jefferson County 911, what are you reporting?
A fire.
Where at?
It's down along Foxton by the Platte River.
Okay, they do have crews on the way down there.
Ann called 911 at 2:34 p.m. What she and dispatchers did not know, just 4 minutes earlier, the fire had escaped.
Okay, it's blowing smoke right over my house.
Yeah, it's about 5 acres and growing, so they've got crews on the way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Ann's next call to Scott about what to do.
I know that she was getting ready to go because we talked about that.
Hours later, around 8 p.m., fire crews confirmed the Appel home had burned to the ground. No one knew for sure if Ann got out. Search crews concentrated in the rubble, spray painting letters on the foundation, a grid to organize the search. Ann would be found in the home she helped build.
I don't have anything that records her voice or, you know, nothing. It's just hard to imagine. It really is.
The prescribed burn that killed Ann Appel. No one charged with the crime, no one disciplined.
Legal or illegal is one thing. Right and wrong is a different thing. This is either right or it's wrong. That's what I want to hear an answer to.
While Scott still seeks accountability, he remains strong for his boys, for his wife.
And I'm grateful that we had the time we did. But she should still be here. And there's no good reason that she isn't.
Scott and Ann own 40 acres. His entire property, as you saw, is black. And just like we've been asking, Scott wants to know who's accountable. His wife is gone. His insurance doesn't cover the land he's lost. No one's does. That's why he was at the legislature today fighting for not only what he lost, but his neighbors too. Ann?
Thank you, Marshall. And 7 News is continuing to investigate the Lower North Fork fire. Coming up on Wednesday night, we have uncovered numerous mistakes involving the prescribed burn and in the events leading up to and after the fire. And we reveal our findings in a 7 News special investigating the fire Wednesday night, following 7 News at 10.